What up guys, so I've got a video today. We're going to be showcasing my pedal board at the end of the 2023 year. I know it's typical for everyone to do a new year, new board. Here's the new build, here's the pedal board demo. I mean, I did it this year too. I showed my board at 2023 at the beginning of this year, and it looks a lot different than it does now. As guitar players and other musicians, I'm sure you can understand, and as you're watching this, you're like, yeah, I completely understand that, every time something new comes out, you've got to have it. It's just the way we try not to be that way. I myself, I really try hard not to jump ship, and the grass is not always greener, but sometimes temptation does take over and I do change things out. So I wanted to showcase my board at the end of 2023, and then we'll maybe do another video in 2024 to see some of the differences and some of the changes. So if you're new to the channel, my name's Anthony Groves. I work for my church as the band director and the media director here in Brandon, Florida. I work for a Bi church. I also play around the area and do different things at other events and other churches and things of that nature. So if you like the content, I plan on doing more videos like this and other videos in 2024. I post a lot more shorts. I mean, if you follow me on Instagram, you know that I'm definitely more geared towards Instagram, but I'm trying to be better at YouTube. So if you want to follow me here on YouTube, consider hitting that subscribe button, consider hitting that like button. If you have any questions or anything like that, I am really good about trying to stay on top of all my DMs and all my comments and things of that nature. So feel free to reach out to me. I will reach out to you and I will reply back to you. So if you have any questions or any concerns, or if you just want to talk, hit me up. Without further ado, let's get into this pedal board demo of the end of the year for 2023. All right, so this is the pedal board in its current state at the end of 2023. I think what we're going to do first is probably go through signal chain and show you guys what's running into what. But first, let's talk about the guitar. I'm using my Schecter PT Fastback 2 Lambda Tone Cremas, neck and middle position. It's probably my main guitar. Let's see if we can get a better close-up. Yeah, Schecter PT Fastback 2 Bigsby. The only thing I've done is taken out these push-pull pots because I hate push-pull, and these are obviously Lambda Tone Cremas. Let's talk signal chain here. First, we're coming right underneath here, under the tilt, there is a Pinstripe Pedals M buffer. It is a very good buffer. It has two outputs. One output goes right into the Schnobeltone over here, the modded Schnobeltone Dunlop DVP4. So out of the regular output, it goes into here, and then out of output 2 on the M buffer, which has the Jensen transformer on it, it goes into my next pedal, the Empress Compressor MK2. This has probably been the only thing that's been a mainstay on my board for the last 4 years, maybe. Even when I ran the Hx for a little while and I started running some outboard effects with the Hx, one of my pedals that I used was my Empress compressor, and I just love it that much, man. I had a Cali 76. I've had the tone press like all the Tone Factor guys have. I've had a bunch of them, and I like this one. I mean, I like that it has the tone, has a blend knob, which I need a blend knob. I feel like every compressor should have a blend knob, but it has a blend knob, it has a tone knob, which is a tilt EQ. I love being able to set the attack and the release on it. So this is why I have it. It even has the side chain where you can have it to compress only the top frequencies and not some of the low ends, and some low end can be more boomier and obviously hit the compressor a little harder sometimes to make it over compressed. It has it where you can set it so it doesn't do that. This is why I really love this pedal. Just so many options for the price point. It just seems like a no-brainer. That runs into the Tone Ranger Prickly Preamp. This is the version 1. I hopped on the train pretty quickly when obviously if you follow Jake on Instagram, which I feel like every worship guitarist at this point probably does, this is the Prickly Preamp version 1. They have a new version out. I just haven't switched. I really do like this. I'll show you kind of what it does to the tone in a minute. But yeah, so that goes into number 2 there, and then we jump into some of my pitch effects. So it goes right into the drop. So this is new. I actually just put it on my board a couple days ago, and that that goes into the Pico pitchfork. I would like the regular pitchfork, but I can't fit. So I've got the Pico since they came out with this just in time for me to get it. And this, so that it goes from there into the drive section, which as of right now, my drive section does change often. So that usually is the thing that's usually changing. But this is what it is right now. I have a Snowball Tone daily driver, which is number one, usually always number one, like stage one is going to be the daily driver. And then it runs into the protein. I don't typically stack the green and the blue together. I usually do a Snowball Tone and then maybe a green, or the daily driver and maybe a blue, and then I run a boost on top. But that's about it. I don't typically stack these two together. It just gets a little money and a little too compressed. Maybe changing it out soon. We'll see. For now, this is what my current drive section is. Then that jumps up into this tilt boost, which I just changed out. It was the Snowball Tone boost. I may change it back. I just wanted to try this pedal out because I've been seeing some stuff about it, and I wanted to try it out. So I wanted to see how it stacked up against the Snowball Tone boost, and I like this tilt boost. It sounds pretty good. It has a little saturation switch, and then I like how you can control the tone. So then that runs into the volume here, and then out of the volume goes into some of the fun stuff. So out of here, it goes into the Chase Bliss mood. Out of there, into this banana effects or banana effects, Abracadabra. It's really spelled Bananana. It's really cool. We'll showcase that. Then it goes into something that's really new here. I just changed this out as well. It is the old Blood Noise Reverse BL44, I think. Yeah, something like that. It's a reverse pedal. It's really cool. I love messing with this clock knob and making cool sounds. Then to the Hx Stomp, which is just, everybody knows what Hx Stomp is now. This is just a catch-all. I mean, I don't run a typical like Strymon, Mobius, or other multi-effects kind of thing. I like this because I can go in and change anything. So this is my modulation section where I do a lot of the just weird fun stuff. And then we come up to the top here, and this runs into the Hologram Microcosm. I feel like everybody knows what a microcosm is now. And that goes into the timeline and into the Big Sky. And then out of the Big Sky, it runs into my two Tone X's that are on the floor. I was going to try to get them in the shot and it was going to be cool, but it's not cool. I'm running two Tone X's, stereo Tone X's. That's in the captures I'm using today. I mean, my captures change as much as I change my socks, but the captures I'm using today is the Benson Chimera and the Bad Cat Samson era BC30 or something like that. They're both from Alter Amp Works. If you know who Alter Amp Works is on Instagram or anything like that, like their stuff. Their captures are amazing. And then that goes out, it's running out of my Pinstripe Pedals Daiso Plus, and that goes out to my interface, and then all that stuff from up there. So that is the full signal chain. Let's get into some sounds here. We're going to start with this is just everything off. It has just a slight reverb here. So we're going to do everything off, and then I'm going to turn on my compressor, and then I'll turn on my Tone Ranger. Let's turn on the compressor. So, it adds a little bit of bite, roll off a little bit of the bottom end, and it just compresses. Now let's turn on this Tone Ranger. Turn it off. On. Might not be felt or heard through maybe iPhone speakers if you're watching off your phone, but it does add a bit of top end, and it makes it just a tad bit more full. To my ears, I just like it. I like the way it reacts. This is my bass tone. I guess edge of breakup. This is neck pickup, by the way. I think I already said that. Let's start with the daily driver. We'll do some of the drives here. So we'll do daily driver, protein, and then I'll turn on the boost here. We're going to run back down to the bridge here. This will be without the daily driver, with daily driver. That is stage one. I know for a lot of people, that's probably like stage 3. But for me, that's stage 1. So here is the green side. I'll turn it off, show you just the green side, then show you just the blue side. And then I'll show you how I use them with the green and the blue together. I mean, the green and the You know what I'm saying. Let's do just the green side. Blue side. Here is Daily Driver, and then we're going to kick on the green side, and then I'll kick on the blue side. All right, so let's show a little what it would be like in a service with a little bit of delay and verb here. Now let's show that blue side there with the same kind of part. See, it's a little subtle difference. It's just how I like to use it. That's how I run them now. So those are my drives there. And then I usually will kick on this tilt here to boost that. So say I'm doing that part there. Probably a little bit more than what I would typically do. Sometimes I hit the knobs and then we figure it out in the middle of service. But here's how it sounds with the green side on. Yep, so that's kind of my drive section. It's a very simple drive section. I mean, I think in my last video you saw I probably had, I think I had like 4 different drives plus a boost, plus a fuzz. I'm kind of simplifying more. I would rather, for me, I want to simplify my drives because I like effects. So I would rather have fun, weird, glitchy, cool sounding effects than 6 overdrives that all do the same thing. So, and then I also actually just like this changes out these effects here often, but I'll show you here. I'm running the Kinky Boost on here. It's a little more full. Sometimes I run a fuzz on here, just depending on it. Sometimes I run a different effect. That's why I like the Hx Stomp, because I can do so much stuff. Now it is a little bit different because the Hx Stomp is after my drive, which makes it a little bit different. Obviously with my volume pedal, it doesn't control the way the drive is reacting to the amps. Here's that boost there. You can see how much thicker it is when I kick it on. And one thing I really like about this is being able to, which I'm probably going to do in a service. We'll see how it goes. It's like a tremolo. I have a tremolo, but it's like having another tremolo, which I just think is really cool because it's post the volume. You never know. I might do that in a service. So we showed these, the drives here. Let's show how I use some of these. So the drop here is just an auxiliary kind of thing. Right now I have it on the octave down and the dry, just so when I'm not using it, sometimes maybe I want to kick it on just for a different kind of thing. So like back to the neck here. You know, just to add that lower sub octave would be cool, and just random stuff. Maybe I'm doing like a lead. But typically I bought this as like an auxiliary kind of thing. So say this past Sunday we played a song in the key of D, which the key of D is not hard to play in. Let's be real. This is just because I was just being bougie and I thought it was cool. So the key of D is obviously not hard to play in, but I ended up putting this down 2 half steps and ended up playing an E. Just makes the guitar sound, because it's just in a lower register and it sounds cool, especially when you're running 2 electrics and the other guy's still standardly tuned. I'll show you, like on this, we're doing D here. Now we're drop tune. That is why I bought the drop. I initially bought the pitchfork, the mini pitchfork, to do that, because it does the same thing. If you turn this knob here, it has the alternate, like you can drop the 4th, a 5th, a 2nd, all that stuff. But because there's no like indications on here, it's just like, oh, that little flash there indicates you're in a different one. And on the fly, that's hard. So now this is just a pitch. Here is the pog. So yeah, that's how that's where it kind of stays at. So typically I'll probably turn it on for a lead. We're doing like Unto the Lamb. You get the idea of what I use the pitchfork to. But I'll show you what I do on here, because there's a detune setting, which I think is cool. All the way to the left, detune. It's kind of like a chorus. It can get you that, I can't even think of it, that elevation song that does that. Obviously, you know, you can tell that I don't play that song. We do not play that song at my church. I've never once played that in my life, but it can get you that sound, which I think is cool. That ran into the drive section ran up here, then drive section ran into the volume, and then from the volume it goes into the mood. I'll show you how I'm running the mood here. So on the looper side, I have it on tape, and it kind of like, it's a reverse glitchy tape that I use. And then on this side, sometimes I run the delay, but right now I'm running the envelope. It's the opposite of reverse. It's, wow, opposite of reverse. It's, I'll show you. It'll be better that way. So less of me talking. That's pretty much it. It's just a short kind of looper that I use it for. And then when I take on this side, it adds on some like octave glitchy stuff, which I'll show you. I have to turn it down a little bit because it does get kind of hot. Just, you know, cool glitchy sounds. You get the idea there. Now this is the Banana FX Abracadabra. It is a reverb pedal. It is a glitch reverb pedal. I don't really know how to explain it. It just does weird stuff. You hear how it sounds like it makes it just, there's a slight modulation. I feel like a flanger in there, obviously with some of the reverb, but then it adds some of those like just random glitchy artifacts in the top end. Right there. Yeah, it adds those and it makes it kind of sound like rain. And then when you have everything together, obviously with some delay and reverb on, it just sounds amazing. Then that goes into the reverse here. And this is a new pedal. I'm still tweaking it, but this is kind of where it's set right now. It's a cool reverse. And then with this clock setting, it can just do cool stuff in the speed setting too. That's literally why I bought it. That is 100% why I bought that pedal. I forgot to show this side of the mood, so we'll show that because it is like the reverse, but I feel like it's the opposite of this. So it's kind of cool. So I'll show you. And then when you throw that into the verse, it can just get crazy. Obviously, it's one of those less is more kind of pedals. So let's turn that on, and then I'll show you kind of how sometimes I've been using this together. And if you watch, again, if you follow me on Instagram, you've seen some of the videos that I've posted of me doing this. So if you want to watch content, I post a lot more on Instagram. So I'll try and put it down here and right here, Anthony Grove 16. Follow me on Instagram. So let's see this. I forgot what key I just played in. you get the idea there. Yeah, so that was the kill dry switch. So I think you get the idea there. So let's show some of the stuff, some of the sounds that I use here. I already showed you the boost there, so let's do the chorus here. Let's turn the dry back on so you can only hear the effect that I'm showing you. So that is the chorus there. It's just a regular chorus. I like it. This is the vibrato, which is the retro reel. I feel like this shines better with like leads. See what I mean? It has a nice little wobble to it, but it also kind of sticks out and just makes the part kind of there as opposed to with it off. And then the flanger, I think it's just a gray flanger. Yep, just a regular old gray flanger. I feel like it would have did if Jeffrey Cundy would have did Come Away with the flanger on, it would have just made it so much better. Let's hear it, how it's supposed to be sound. See what I mean? Jeffrey, he doesn't know what he's doing. He should have used the flanger this whole time. And then here's the tremolo. It's just a tremolo. Then I'll show you the ramper here. Almost like a rotary. Now it's starting to slow down. Back to slow. Back to fast. And that's ramping up now. Yep, so that's how I run that. And then I've got a couple effects here. So this is the double take, and this is the Cosmos Echo, which I call the L cap because basically sounds like an L cap ish. It's not really an L cap, but so what is the double take at right here? So this is something I literally just added in maybe a couple weeks ago. I've been using it. Makes it very wide. I love how wide it makes it and feel. If you're using headphones, put them on. Well, if you're not using headphones, put them on. And again, I think this is something that kind of shines with just delay and verb, you know? I feel like everything shines with delay and verb. It would help if I play it right. Wow. getting the full experience with this YouTube video. So, and then that's a double take there. It's nice and wide, sounds cool. Here's the echo. Regular little tape echo. Yeah, so I'll typically use that, you know, just to add some, maybe some more ambient to what's already running on the timeline in the big sky. If I don't want to kick on a bigger delay there, I'll use that to hit that delay a little bit more and to, you know, obviously make the reverb a little bit bigger. But yeah, so that's that. I also can use it just to get some of my dotted ace a little bit to stick out more without having to stick that out. So, you know, I can turn on my bigger dotted eighth here. You know, it's a little bit bigger, but this also kind of helps. You can kind of hear all the nuances of the delays and stuff, but we'll show the microcosm. This may change soon just because when I got it, it felt super inspirational, felt amazing. I loved all the stuff it was doing. But after a couple months, I feel like maybe the newness kind of wore off. And now I don't find myself turning it on too much. So it may get swapped out soon for something else. We'll see, maybe the Chroma console, even though I know I've got it here, but we'll see. I'll show you guys. I really only use Mosaic 1. That's also part of the reason why I feel like I might get rid of it, because it's a $400 pedal for one effect. So yeah, you know how that goes. So let's do some microcosm here. Usually takes a second to get in there. Fingers are not working today. So you can see, I mean, it sounds cool. It does its thing. It's just kind of a random generator of ambient textures. I have experimented with other effects on here. I just tend to gravitate towards this Mosaic 1 more often, and I haven't really found anything else that I really love. So it may get swapped out soon. We'll see with 2024 coming soon. So yeah, so that is the microcosm hologram. Then the timeline there, I mean, I've kind of already showed you. You've kind of seen a lot of my stuff anyways, as far as, but this is my dotted eighth, bigger dotted eighth. It's not much of a difference. So I think my mix is around, yeah, it's around there. And then when I'm on the bigger one, the mix is around there. So not too much of a difference. It's pretty much exactly the same setting. The repeats and everything are the same. I don't run a ton of modulation, and it's basically just the mix is bigger and smaller. So then we get to the reverb here. This is just a normal small, is it on? Yeah, it's on. Just like a small room verb. This is actually Jake's from Instagram, his RV5. I just renamed it Schmeagle because it's funny to me. So, and I like Lord of the Rings. So This is my, you know, if I want something smaller and I don't want a ton of reverb. So there's that, and then we run a little bit bigger here. This is a cloud. This is one that I use all the time. So that is that, and then my last one here is just basically a bigger cloud. Got a couple other things here that I use. Another bigger one. Then a bigger one here. Then another one. Yeah, and those are my reverbs. Okay guys, that is the Pedalboard demo for 2020, for the end of the year of 2023. I hope you guys liked it. I hope I showed you all of the ins and outs of kind of what I'm doing here. And yeah, so if you like the video, please like it. If you have any questions, you can comment below. Anything you want, I'll reply back. If you also want to DM me on Instagram and you have other questions or you just want to talk, you go ahead, DM me on Instagram. I will reply back to you and anything like that. So I hope you guys liked the video. Please, if you want to see more content and stuff like this, please consider subscribing to my channel. Comment below if you have any ideas for other things you would like to see, other videos you would like me to cover, maybe some pedal demos, maybe some other effects, or just the way I go about certain things. I've got some ideas laying around in the head up here that I may do for 2024. We'll see how it goes. Hope you guys like it. Let's see how much this pedalboard will change in 2024. Hopefully it doesn't change too much, because it will change a little bit. I mean, it's inevitable, but hopefully it doesn't change too much, but maybe it'll change a lot. We'll see. So hope to I keep saying hope you guys like it. I really do hope you guys like it, but I'll see you guys in the next video.